All right, man. Russ said he wanna bring the best out of AD. AD has played his best up until last year in terms of from a numbers perspective. AD's problem is staying healthy. So if Russ is gonna be on AD, about bringing the best out of him, motivating him, staying on AD and stuff like that, it would be about his health. As I've said before, up until last year, up until last year, AD has never shot under 50% from field goal range and have never averaged under 10 rebounds. Okay, I'm going right off the top of my head, and if somebody pulls it up and gets it correct or more correct than me, hey, I don't have no problem with that. But see, Russ is gonna want to push the ball and push the tempo. LeBron is gonna want to run when he wants to run, and Rondo is gonna play at a more slow down pace. He'll he'll ultimately pick it up every now and then, but at this stage, Rondo's gonna slow it down, and he's gonna be exceptional in the half court, of course. So the problem the problem with trying to push the rock with AD and everything, you have to be wary of the fact of playing Westbrook style and AD style if they're going to be able to coexist. Because we're not talking about just a regular injury that was bothering AD. We're talking about two specific injuries in which you got to be wary of the fact about AD. You're talking about the groin injury or sports hernia, whatever you want to call it, but it's in that area. And then you got to talk about the Achilles and ankles, you know, and even though he's switching to the five, and it's the game is still positionless because you have mobile centers now, and AD, it's going to be a question of him keeping up with Phoenix, him keeping up with Jokic in Denver because Jokic likes to get out on the perimeter, But I believe like guys like Dwight Howard, to an extent, DeAndre Jordan. I don't think DeAndre because a lot of people don't understand how athletic DeAndre Jordan was. DeAndre Jordan earlier in his career, when he was with Lob City, used to be able to would get up and down the floor relatively easy. But he's saying he wants to bring the best out of AD. I don't have no problem with that if you're talking about like health, health definitely they can come in and express for it. Then I got a little bit of things to do. I know I haven't chopped up for just a minute. I got some stuff cooking. I got some real stuff quick cooking. Then I got an announcement to make a little bit later. But Russ has always been at the tempo. I feel like his tempo is out of control. Being out of control sometimes. I love Russ's tempo, and if you ask a lot of players that played with Russ, they love Russ's tempo, despite what some people may believe. Mike Krzyzewski, he loved Russ's tempo. Kobe Bryant, he loved Russ's tempo. So I don't understand why where everybody gets this notion of, oh yeah, well, they equate him playing at a fast pace with low basketball IQ, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at some of the great point guards, they would push the pace. Now, does he have a problem sometimes with change of speed? Yeah, he change of pace, and not necessarily a change of direction. I give him that on the change of direction. But those are the key things that make a great point guard. See, a true point guard like Rondo, he was able to he could kill you in transition. He could kill you um, in the half court, and now at this later stage of his career, offensively, he could kill you from the outside because he's shooting well over 30%, which was unheard of earlier in his career. They used to leave Rondo open, and he would hit them every now and again, but he wasn't hitting them as consistently as he was. And see, you can't make the excuse that Rondo was okay. Well, they didn't have nobody in the gym or anything like that. Now you can't make that excuse. You can't make that excuse because he was hitting them when he was with the Clippers, even though he didn't play as much as what we have liked to see. But ultimately, he was able to help a guy like Reggie Jackson, and Reggie Jackson was able to pick his brain and pick up on what Rondo was able to bring to the table. But I don't mind what Russ is saying, but we got to talk about who's the champion here. AD's the one with the chip. Now they both do have, they play on but that lady ain't even paying attention. But at the same token, we're talking about the good old Larry O'Brien, the championship trophy. That's what we're talking about. And in terms of bragging rights, AD has it. AD has played in the finals. AD has had more success. Well, Russ has played in the finals too. Russ has played in the finals too. And see, the thing about it is I didn't like the narrative that Magic Johnson had put one time, saying that he that was horrible how he played when he put up 50 plus in the finals. I thought for his age that was great. He was still learning at the time. Russ was, and he's still a work in progress. Even though Russ is my favorite player, I'm not going to act like he's not a work in progress. You could get triple doubles all day. Each and every one of those players on that roster are still a work in progress. LeBron is still a work in progress, even at this stage of his career. Uh, AD is still a work in progress, even at this stage of his career. Melo is still a work in progress, even at this stage of his career. And some people may disagree. They may say, okay, well, it is what it is. He's setting his ways and all this other BS. No, you can still learn. You can still pick up different things. J Kidd is a prime example. I know it's an elementary example, but he was able to pick up 3-point shooting late in his career. Russ is gonna push the pace, but they're gonna. The concern is not really on offense. The concern is really not on offense, unless you're talking about personnel wise, who's gonna mix and who's not gonna be able to mix, and who's not gonna be able to coexist, and who's gonna be able to coexist. That's what Frank Vogel is gonna have to figure out. But the problem where the problem lies, and it shouldn't even really be a problem. The the main thing that you have to look out for is health and being able to withstand the rigors of the NBA season because it's going to 82. It's going back to 82. They back in training camp and it's fitting to start like normal. We finna get back to normalcy, you know. So I don't have no problem with Russ coming out because I think that they, even though in the back of everybody's mind they still see LeBron as that do all and as that leader and everything. I think that they want to see Russ as that leader. They want him to push it to a certain extent, and then by bringing in Rondo, that's gonna make things even better. Like I told you, Russ is gonna be able to pick Rondo's brain. Nobody's looking at it that way. Everybody's looking at it from just a physical standpoint. You have to pay attention to the mental aspect of the game. You have to pay attention to not only the fundamentals, you have to pay attention to the health and nutrition side of the game. You know, health is a big thing. Are they going to be able to last? Yes, they still have youth on their squad. When you talk about Nunn, when you talk about Monk, when you talk about Reeves, the guy that they Reeves is that they just signed or whatever, if he gets playing time, you know. But these guys that we're talking about ain't young. Now, Dwight Howard, he struggled with injuries here and there, but they not. I don't see Dwight Howard playing no more than about 20 minutes. I maybe, and if that, he's gonna come in, and I'm not putting anything in the atmosphere or in the universe, but I will say this: if his opportunity becomes to where he could flourish, he'll be able to flourish because while MB was out, I thought he did a tremendous job. I think he averaged about it was about 18 and 12 when through that stretch when Embiid wasn't there. He did a wonderful job, man. You know, like I'm just talking about basketball. Everybody likes to talk about the booty goon situation and all that other stuff. Look, man, we got to get off of that sort of stuff. Look, what you do on your time, that's your time. But hey, as long as you winning games for the Lakers, people could care less what you're doing. That's why I don't really bring up the skirt situation with Russell Westbrook. He might wear a skirt all day, but I guarantee you, there's very few people that would stand up under that rim and try to jump with Russ in a one-on-one situation, and then you'll be wearing the skirt. Not that I'm defending the dude or nothing like that. Just saying, let's just talk basketball because everybody gets into okay, well Russ, he sold his soul and all this other BS, man. Look, I'm not looking at that. I mean, you can sell your soul all day and you lose. If you win, if you worship a certain God and all that other stuff, man, leave that stuff off the court. It's what you're going to do on the court. That's what people want to see, and I think he has a dedicated focus. He's coming in with a dedicated focus. You can never deny Russell Westbrook's tenacity and his approach, and that's what separates him from a lot of other people. People get too personal with talking about Russ or with talking about different players. I don't. If the only way I'm gonna get personal with you is if I see that you're not dedicating yourself. because everybody got some blemishes in their game. I could go down the list and name a lot of players that have blemishes in their game, whether it's from how they play in the fourth quarter to or clutch gene to not being able to execute properly in the half court to not being efficient from the outside or not being great from the free throw line or need to work on his body, need to work on ball control or a body control too. You name it, everybody got blemishes in their game. You know, Luca is a talented individual. I've said it before, and I stand on what I said about him deserving him being ranked high in terms of the rankings and stuff. But he still has a long way to go in terms of truly building upon his game. Come on, you could go. Yeah, motherfucker, that's cool. Stupid mother. Shit, I'm gonna holler at you. I ain't got no time for that shit. Stupid motherfucker. Anyways, and this dude want to do something. Take your ass back to Florida. Don't pull up to me. I'm not going nowhere. You got people that don't know how to drive out here, and then they want to get mad because you got to make a left turn. Now I see what Ticket be talking about when everybody be driving. Yeah, go ahead, follow me then. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what we doing. This dude right here. All right, sucker. Yeah, sucker. My bad, y'all. But but the thing about it is that it's all about approach. And it's listen, they got to realize too. Russ got to realize too that it's a marathon and not a sprint, just like all of them do. And then they're gonna have to deal with, and it goes back to what I said about Brooklyn too. They're gonna have to deal with the media because if they're not playing great, especially in LA, the media is gonna eat them alive, and they're probably gonna put it on one person. Now they always talk about. Look, I'm gonna say this too. They talking about they're gonna put it on just Russ or Carmelo or something like that if things go bad or something. I believe that LeBron's gonna get the smoke too. I believe that he gonna get the smoke too if things don't start picking up because they still got to gel. They still got to establish chemistry, and they still got to be able to handle the negative factors of what take place in the season. That's what a lot of people don't realize. They looking for everything to be all great all the time, and it's not. It's just not gonna take that. It's not gonna take place like that sometimes. Guys and guys got to know how to play with each other. Yeah, they play with each other on the U.S. Olympic gold, but that was a long time ago. These players have grown. These players have evolved. These players are used to a certain routine and used to playing with a certain personnel, and that's what some people have to look at. So I done rambled long enough, man. Y'all tell me what you think. Uh, do you think that Russ has a great point in what he's saying in terms of bringing the best out of AD, or do you feel like that Russ just needs to focus on himself? Like this video, share it, subscribe, and be sure to hit the notifications too so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. I tried to leave it open for y'all if anybody wanted to come in, but I guess not. So on that note, it's Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. I'm gonna get at y'all later.